I'm going to be doing a watercolor today, and I have all my paints laid out here, and they're by Katzman, but you can get any brand you wish. On my paper, I am going to be doing a matte painting, and it's going to be 11 by 14 matte with an 8 by 12 inch viewing area. So I did a few marks here, just give me a guide to where to keep my painting in. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a seascape, so first thing I'm going to do is just kind of, and I don't want to go halfway exactly. You never want to do half and divide everything in there. You want to go a little bowl or up above, but I think we'll sort of bring a line across here. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but we'll do that when we do. So we've got the line where our water and sky meet, and it's just slightly below center. And I think today I'm gonna do a little girl running along the beach. Let's give her a little hat out there. And I'm just freehand sketching, but you can find a picture and her little nose. Just right now it's just the basic shape, and her hair is sort of flying out behind her. And let's give her and we're not going to be exact. We're just maybe something's flying out back here, and her legs are coming down. That's good enough. That's just, it's a very rough sketch. We're going to do sort of more of an impressionistic look to it, and that's one of the beauties with watercolor. You can make it as detailed or as loose as you want. We're going to kind of do a loose one today. All I've got is water on my brush right now, and I'm going above my lines right here. If we go outside the lines, that's fine. When we put our mat on, we'll come in and kind of come around her. Right now we're just more or less getting the sky area. I do have it taped up here a little bit, just kind of hold it in place. This is a 180-pound watercolor paper. They do have a lot heavier papers. This is good enough for right now. All right, so now we're gonna pick up some colors, and we're gonna got the yellows, so maybe a little, and just kind of here and there, and I'm letting the water move the colors around. I'm going to take a touch of the alizarin crimson, maybe a touch of the ultramarine blue, get a sort of a purplish just on the corner, and I'm going to put it next to the yellows. And I'm going to go just right into my ultramarine, and I'm washing the brush between there. And if the brush gets too wet, I have paper towels here. I can sort of blot a little bit, but right now I just got water on my brush. I'm kind of bring that down. And see how it's dripping. If it gets too much down here, you can just take a dry your brush and touch it. It sort of sucks up the excess. And I think I'll go back to a little more of my lavenders. Maybe under there. Watercolors will dry lighter. I'm going to bring just a little color up top, a little outside the frame is what I'm doing here. So, and back into my ultramarines. You see how we're getting a line there. I don't want that line. And that's just water on the brush, just kind of do a little bit of blending. And we'll let that dry a little bit. While that's drying, let's come down and add a little bit of sand. Oh, maybe over here. Whoops. Oh, we do got a lot of green now, so let's picked up a little bit of everything there. And here's the nice part. I can pick that up. Now some colors are staining colors, so you're not going to get every bit off, but I got, and we're gonna, since we're going to put some greens in anyway. Back to the yellows is what I'm sort of sand colors. Maybe a little sand dune right here. And let's go to the other side. Oh, let's put one there. Bring that down. Add some water to it. Bring that across. I don't want it. And then I'm going to just kind of bring it up a little bit. I want to leave some area for the water. And I'm going to take a touch of our browns. Not a lot, like a raw umber. And maybe even a touch of our reds in there. Okay, let's sort of blend in there together. And I can just kind of wipe out the drips, pull that out a little bit. Okay, now I want to go in ultramarine blue, touch of the alizarin crimson. I want to keep it more to the blues, and I want to try it. I got my brush. You can see it's a nice flat brush, and I'm going to hold it just straight and come straight. And I want to get her straight across, and a little bit on this side too. Kind of keep it straight. Now I'm just adding water to my brush. I'm going to try not to touch that sand too much. And you notice I'm leaving some white, as if there's some waves coming in. And I will do the same here. I may need a little more blue for there. I'm going to kind of outline her a little bit. But you can see how I'm leaving some of the whites. Now I'm taking, I've got a small brush, and that brush is basically dry. I haven't even taken anything. I'm just gonna come across a little bit. Okay, now I'm wetting it, drying it off. Maybe picking up, so you can pick up some color off of there. And I'll even get some darks back in my ultramarine blue in a couple spots. I'll even put a couple darks in there. All right, I think we've got our basic background. A little dark. I want to get that line a little more distinct along the horizon. Okay, and just pull it down a little bit so it isn't such a hard line. Okay, we've more or less got our background. I have a round brush. You can see it's completely round. And let's pick up, some of the yellows, maybe a touch of that yellow ochre. And let's take the back of my hand. Yeah, it's fairly dry. Let's start on her hat. And I put my finger on that, stabilizes me. And I do the outside. Now I'm wiping the excess off, just adding a little bit of water. And kind of see that. And I'm going to go in with just my touch of the browns and the yellow ochre, and maybe on that side it's a little darker. The sun isn't hitting it. Okay, for the face, I'm going to use some reds, a little bit of the yellows, and believe it or not, just a tab of the greens. Not much. I don't want a green face. Just want to darken it. The green will darken the yellows and the reds almost. Let's make sure I get enough red. And I'm just adding some color there. And let's go. We're going to take all the dark colors, the blues, the browns, a little bit of the alizarin crimson, some of that green. It's sort of a vermilion green. And I just want a dark color, maybe sort of almost blackish brown. Nothing. Yeah. And I just sort of get her hair blowing out behind it. And you are going to have some highlights in it, so just taking a little water. And then, of course, under the hat, you're going to have that shadow color. So it's going to be a little darker. Let's get into the darkest darks here. And if you can't get it dark enough, let it dry a little bit. You can always go back in and add to it. All right. Oh, let's see. I'm getting some of the alizarin, some of the reds. Lots of water in it. Let's see. We got a shoulder here. And I'm just sort of adding a little bit of color here and there. Let's get a little touch of the touch of the yellow in there, maybe just a little change of color. And her skirt sort of drifting out. And I'm going to take a touch of the alizarin, some of the shadows. And I'm going back in to our face color, which is the reds. Just that little touch of green in there. Not a lot, just a little bit of yellows. More or less a tan color. And her arm coming out there. And maybe her other hand is behind her as she's running. And let's go back into the alizarins. Maybe. Ah! And you can always suck up the rest right there. And some dark colors on her sleeves. Let's pick up a little of the lighter colors. And we'll bring the blues up. There. The pinks under. Some shadows running through there. I'm even going to pick up some of the lavender color. Just for some little bit of shadow colors right in there. And it gives it a little bit of variety. And I think she's looking pretty good. Let's bring her arm right up. And I'm going to take some of that color out of there. And you can see, you can pick up some of those colors. If something isn't working, there. You just, it's gone. And let's get a little touch more of the darker blues. I'm going to bring that ocean right up to her. But make sure you pull it across. And it's just plain water on there. I'm just picking up, sort of dispersing some of the water here. And then I'm going to touch, bring a little bit of that blues around the front of her. Okay. Let's get back to my round brush. Let's go back into her skin color. She needs a few legs to, while she's running across that beach. And I'm going to go back to my alizarins and bring that little bit of darks there. We're going to pick up some of that color there. We're just going to kind of, she's running along the sand. we've got some of the other areas are dry. Go back in. Something growing here. And I've got my twiggy brush here. And I'm pulling up some sea oats or grasses, whatever's growing. And even put a few dots over here, something growing on it. I take just a little bit of the water and just sort of blend it into the sand. Get a little bit of that water down. Just gonna darken the sand in this corner a little bit. Take a little and sort of flick it, gives it a little, I don't know if you can see that, but it's just spots of it where it looks like it might be sand there. And we can even do it in the front. Just be careful you don't get it all over your girl. Let's pick up some more. All it is, I'm picking up the browns, some a little bit of yellows, maybe a touch of red in there. Ah! And across the sands. And if you get it where you don't want it, just get your brush, plain water, a little up here, and then this one right here got a little heavy. We'll just pick it up and kind of, maybe a seashell or something is laying there. All right, let's go back to some of my browns. Maybe this time we'll add a touch of green in it. Over here, you got something growing here. And that's just my round brush. And maybe something here, a little bit greener, little grasses in there. Okay, I'm gonna go back into my browns, my reds. I'm damping after I get my color. I'm sort of tapping it off a little bit, get some of the excess. Let's sort of define our Legos a little better. Kind of just on the bottom. Her feet are probably buried in the sand that she's running along. In fact, we might even put a few footsteps here and there. If it's too dark, you can just take a little water. Looks good. I think her arm needs to be defined a little better. There's a thumb, couple knuckles. She runs along. Maybe get her. Shadow on her face. And let's go back into the hair. I want the darker colors. We mix the greens, the blues, the alizarans. I got a dark color. Almost black. Dark brown. And of course right underneath that hat. I'm going to wipe off the excess on my brush. And now we're just adding detail. As she's running along the sand, maybe a little strand is down there on her shoulder. Okay. And if it gets too dark, you can just add some water, tap it. Pick up a little the excess color. And while we got that dark color, let's take our Twiggy and I'm going to roll the brush. Oh, let's see, right here. Looks like a good place for a couple seagulls maybe coming in, or some type of seabird. Here we somehow got a spot here in the sky. We're just gonna kind of, let's get blend it out a little bit. And maybe we'll add a little, now you can just sort of kind of look around, see what you need. Maybe a little bit into the blues. You can kind of put a few waves in. Nothing heavy. Maybe come in with some yellows, maybe a touch of the green and yellow. We can even add more detail here, maybe something down here. Maybe some rocks. It's just browns, it's just. And then once I do that, wipe the brush off and just kind of pull the bottom out. Just something down there, we don't know what it is. And we can even take a little bit of blue-green right through here. Put a little shoreline. All right, I think we're just about ready to sign that. And I think we got another finished painting. Hope you enjoyed. Of course, we got to put our mat around our finished painting. And I hope you enjoyed that.